take responsibility for the chaos that's unfolding?
Of course I take responsibility. I'm president, but it was horrible what to see, as you saw. To see people treated like they did, horses barely running them over, people being strapped, it's outrageous. I promise you those people will pay. There will be an investigation underway now, and there will be consequences.
President Biden vowed there would be payback last year after images of Border Patrol agents using whips caused uproar and false accusations. DHS said there would be a quick probe, but 6 months later, that investigation is still ongoing with no information released. Here to react, former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf. Chad, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You would think that an investigation like that would take maybe a week, 2 weeks. It looks like it's taken 6 months, and we may never know the results of it because what the president said did not happen.
Well, that's exactly right. And at the time, if you recall, the DHS Secretary Mayorkas, said the investigation would be closed in a matter of weeks. We're now 6 months. Not only does the DHS Secretary owe an apology to those Border Patrol officers, but also the President and the Vice President, who also made disparaging comments. And so I've been briefed on many of these types of investigations. It does not take 6 months. When all the facts are on video, you have access to those Border Patrol agents down there on the border. You can get into investigation. You can close it pretty quickly. But I think it's going to reveal that they did not do anything wrong.
Right.
The video shows that. Eyewitness accounts show that. I just don't think that the administration wants to admit that.
Well, the photographer who took the images in question said, quote, "Nobody saw a Border Patrol agent whipping." And that was the whole thing. And, it shouldn't take 6 months to have that guy come out and say that. Something else we wanted to pick your brain on, and that is coming up on April 1st. It sounds like Title 42 is going to end, and it looks like as many as 170,000 refugees could be heading into the country. Where do we put them?
Yeah. Well, it's a great question. So Title 42 was always a temporary measure. It was always going to go away. But unfortunately, what this administration has not done is they haven't planned for it, and they haven't put any other policies in place to deter the illegal activity that we see. So not only do you have the amount of folks that are coming to the border every month, 170, 80, 100,000, but you also have the surge that's going to come once the cartels and the smugglers and others start advertising that Title 42 has gone away. So it's going to be a double whammy. And again, this administration should have planned for this better. They should have put procedures in place. And unfortunately, what they continue to do, and I just don't understand it and I don't believe it, is they continue to treat this as though it's a capacity issue. And if they throw more resources and more bodies at it, they can process these individuals faster. And that's not addressing the underlying cause of the illegal behavior and the pull factors that are causing a lot of these individuals to continue to break the law month after month after month.
Sure. And after they are processed, as we are looking at right there in Brownsville, Texas, then they are released into the interior. And then they are told, hey, go to an ICE office. But as we have heard, oftentimes they don't.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They've broken the system along that border. It's overwhelmed, and so they will release individuals into the country. We don't see them showing up. We know that 80 to 85% of them will never qualify for asylum, and so we're going to have to remove them from the country.
All right, let's see what happens. Chad, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
You bet.